Happy 2024. Welcome to my channel. We've had over 380,000 visitors to this channel in 2023. Thank you very much for that. 50 shows have been taped and will have aired by year end. We're already set for 80 shows into August of 2024. Some really big name folks. Very excited about this. We've launched a new, smaller series, the APL Spotlight series. So we'll be able to put people into that slot to get them in front of you sooner rather than having to wait all the way to the fall of next year. I'm the guy who helps people let go to tap unlimited skills that everyone has. It's full on seeing, feeling, hearing. It just means stepping out of thinking, what you know, the type of knowing that precludes possibility. We all do plenty of thinking. That's fear, stress, worry, reacting. And again, we know what we know. We know that that football team is bad or that neighbor 50 houses down is no good. But what we don't realize is that is a complete waste of energy. Our opportunity during this lifetime and into the next lifetime and the one after that is to discover more love in and around us. More going with the flow, more discovering our unique life path. We all have one of those. And that's what angels, guides, your loved ones can help you do. I try not to tell anybody anything. I do, suggest breathing, smiling extra, getting out of here to get to here. I've got a lot of little techniques that help a person trust that something big is going on in the moment. You feel it. I help people see auras on their hands, on someone else, on their dog. You can see angels as balls of light flying through two screens. You can smell sage. I light sage all the time on the show, or when I was a guest in the last 18 months on about 42 shows around the world. I blow sage through the screen. Irish angel mystic Lorna Byrne didn't catch the sage, but she said she got daisies and roses. 35-year healer Jennifer McLean in Laguna Niguel, California, caught sage plus 3 flowers. Everybody takes baby steps on the show, and that's also super interesting. So anyone can do this. Let me say it a different way. Tyler Henry is a super successful psychic medium, 600,000 on his waiting list. If you did 2,000 sessions a year, that should be 300 years with the business. He has beautiful books out. Go see him in an event. So this isn't a dig at any all psychic mediums or Tyler Henry. It's a compliment. Completely buy his stuff, take his classes, go to an event. I've done that. I love him. Even Tyler Henry has room for expansion. He doesn't have to feel Uncle Joe's heart attack, and that's how Uncle Joe passed over, and he starts sweating, and he feels his heart palpitate. He can go beyond that anytime. He doodles while he does his session. If he wants, he can see full on. You can too. Every single person now has the ability to go beyond the James Van Praagh, the classic psychic mediums out there. Again, keep hiring them, patronize them, if I said that correctly, give them business and so on. But you personally have unlimited skills at listening, hearing, feeling, seeing. You can use that for relationship advice. You can use that for expansion in your business, your career. You have a unique life path. It comes down to the rub is here, or the crux is here. What will you allow for? There's something called thinking. It's the way reality is. It's Plato's cave. It's the way you view the world, your personal reality. My situation is, my drama is, this person's X, I'm Y. I'm at A, but I wanted to be at B in life. How will you roll with your energy? What will you allow for? Angels, unconditional love figures beyond our grasp, beyond our comprehension. They're still learning from us. They're eternal from our perspective. They're kind of perfect from our perspective. They're willing to help. But in the broader picture, you're being given everything right now in this present moment in the most perfect of ways. If you could just realize that, and you see it in every other movie made, there's a moment where the main character goes, aha, has a beautiful moment. If it's Soul Surfer, after Bethany has lost her arm to a tiger shark, much later in the film, she comes full circle and realizes it doesn't matter. It's not stopping her from being more love, allowing more love, and sharing more love with others. And she can still surf and even do contests. This is sort of these are the eternal questions for mankind. But angels, guides like Mother Teresa, Mary, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, Sai Baba, the one from 100 years ago, Einstein, – , Lakshmi, Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, Dull Knife, Richard Geronimo, Crazy Horse, White Buffalo, Calf Woman, a bunch of other Native American chiefs, Plato, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca. They're all here to help. Sylvia Brown, Thich Nhat Hanh, Chogyam Trungpa, Kuan Yin. These are figures you actually get to meet. You feel them. You see them. Full on, out your window. If you're really gutsy and it's this amount of space, then in a house. You can do this as a group. You can collectively hear, feel, and see. You have to own it solo first. I have photographs of angels, and I use historical photos as well. The angel photos will move and change color or pulse. That's great. Everything defies logic. It defies what you know. It defies what we know as a society. It defies what spirituality currently through institutes, through these different groups, through the publishing houses, what they accept. It's just something they've yet to embrace. I was at Omega Institute last year. Some of the guests got to jointly see an angel named Joy. I always say she's a blonde, 28 years old, jean jacket, upscale dress underneath, and of course she showed up as brunette. Angels can take on any amount of Hollywood wardrobe and show up any which way. Joy has been a male, Nick Nolte-looking figure at a bar restaurant called Zach's in Austin. This is like 10 or 12 years ago. I was stuck on the concept of ghosts. I hadn't met any angels, taken any photos of Plato or fairies. They exist. See them as 13 or 14-year-olds. They're wonderful. Wings pop out. They turn into a ball of light and fly off. You can meet Ginger the fairy. I have a photo of her. Go to my website. Tinkerbell exists. That's a tough one. But a booker, a staff person who would bring in Deepak for Omega, who's now down in Boone, North Carolina at another institute. She said in her testimonial, I have 100 of those, about 18 videos, 82 written testimonials. In her testimonial, she says, and Tinkerbell was my very favorite when she signed off. So this isn't about me. This isn't about me telling you anything. I'm doing that all the time in these videos because I have to say something. My big shtick is to step out of the way so you get a direct experience. You have it all here. You're more masterful, if that's a good word. You're more capable than all the folks in the wellness holistic landscape currently. That doesn't mean you're not going to use other people, but what I'm trying to say is all your answers, all your skills, everything you're going to ever need to know in life or ever going to be is right here, right now, within you. And so for the near-death experience crowd, you can have the highlight part of the near-death experience recreated by angels in a sort of a lucid dream way. Eyes open, maybe in the sky, definitely eyes closed is easier. You can meet the angels who sort of shepherded you through the near-death experience. This goes for athletes. The idea of a slump anymore. Yes, you're going to go through a slump for a few weeks till you realize you're in a slump. And then when you decide you want to do something about it, let angels, let Native American chiefs, let Gandhi give you good advice and help you pop out of that emotional ebb and flow. Unfortunately for humans, thinking's not going away. We're all going to have a lot of ebb and flow. It could be financial, health. I just took a huge health hit for 3 weeks between Thanksgiving to just about a week ago. I'll look a little skinnier. I definitely got a short haircut. The last 5 Decembers, it's been interesting dance with illness. Look, it gave me a chance to reboot. And so here I am. I'll try to put out a video each day, and I'll try to share certain steps that people take, whether it's putting a hand up to an angel and feeling the vibe through 2 screens, me blowing sage with a feather, lit sage in just a moment. Catch that. If I hold up Audrey Hepburn's photo, you can get a photo can move, wink, smile, nod, and so on. So just the question again is, what will you allow for? Try to just remember, I have one bit of structure. Pen and paper is really nice to have for all your answers. Again, I don't tell you anything. You ask your questions. Angels, the universe just knows exactly where you are in life, and they know exactly what to say. All languages, all dialects spoken. The record is, I think, 9 hours, 48 pages of answers in Australian. I literally only checked in every 2 hours. I teach a person just to let go and to receive all with a capital A. Colorblind people have seen color. Again, it's beautiful getting your answers. I think it's really important, but one hug to me is worth 10 pages of answers because a hug's a hug. And you learn to also go beyond the photos, beyond the way you think it's got to go structure-wise. You can just ask for a hug anytime you remember to remember, if you remember to remember. And nothing I say is original because that's even from Songyel Rinpoche. A book fell off a shelf. No one was near it. It was a Tibet Book of the Dying. There's a million of those, but he had written a foreword. And at the end of his little foreword, it said, "For 35 years, I've been teaching, remember to remember." And that was the one expression, remember to remember, if you can remember to remember, that I think Chogyam Trungpa helped me with, that I thought was original. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not about me, it's not about what I do, it's about you, and it's about what will you allow for. And none of my personal details matter, the photos don't matter, what other people have done, all the testimonials, the group thing. I've got a video of an angel flying over my head, that's joy. My details, my stuff, it's you choosing to accept your life as it is right now that allows for a shift in consciousness to move beyond the details. We all have a life story. It could be 28 paragraphs, 28 pages long, but if you could somehow, over 28 days, each day write it a little shorter and simpler and streamline it down to "I am love," that would be probably the greatest writing exercise of all time. And you would have to transform spiritually, emotionally, energetically, because we all get hung up on details. But what about this? Or I should have said this. I need to do this. I'm not good how I am right now, financially, or anything else. And so, again, Mary said something beautiful. Love isn't everything. Open your eyes to see love. I love that. I've lived with that for over a decade. I love trying to remember it when I can remember it. We all still are going to do plenty of judging, plenty of this, plenty of that. Again, it's a waste of energy. But for the person who's willing to just pay attention this much more, Angel said 7% less thinking a week is the Olympic gold medal. That's it, 7% less thinking. I think that translates to less than 2 hours a day, just under. So if you could just read a book, do yoga, go for a walk, hug a tree, hug your dog, do something. Charlotte said that. That is all you need to change everything in your life. You have a unique life path. Once you recognize the difference between thinking, the version of reality you read out in the press, let's do it this way. It's not about the environment. It's not about this going on in this country or in this state or in this court system or anything else. Sure, those are factual events happening, but it's how are you interacting with your environment? Are you being all you can be? It's Shakespeare, to be or not to be. Not to be, to be. Unconditional love, conditional love. Compassion, allowing for all, limiting thinking, limiting beliefs. There's thousands of ways to describe up here. Again, allowing limits. Knowing in the way that precludes possibility, knowing in a more universal way. There is no right or wrong, angels will tell you, but there's proper understanding. The second you recognize the difference in energy flows, one type of current, another type of current, kicks 3 soccer balls when you're on the soccer field and you're one with the soccer ball, that happens here. It doesn't happen up here. Did you paint that beautiful oil picture painting in 2 hours instead of the usual 5 hours, and you were a smile on your face and it was the greatest act of art you've ever done? That happened here. Got a hug from your little one? That happened here. You had a good laugh. You love the movie. You're in tears and you're like, oh my God, life. I love life. I need to call my cousin and tell my cousin I love you. That happened here. Everything that's important in life happens here. We forget all the time. Humans are really tough on themselves. They're tough on others. It's why we still have war. It's why we haven't grown yet. 3 hours is all we need for mankind to go boop and expand. Good luck with that. I could be 90, 105 saying this all over again. It is what it is. It's going to be how it's going to be. Do people really want to pay attention? Do people really want to keep it simple? And so back to getting any answers to any questions. I think that's the most immediate thing for a good American or a good Australian or a New Zealander, or if you're in Germany, France, Canada, wherever, India. We all want our answers. But at some point, and wait 3 months, and all the questions and all the answers kind of get aged or dated. If it was for sales and you got 100 leads, you've called everybody. So 3 months later, you're going to need fresh answers all over again. You can do all that. That's fine. And the hugs are really important for energy clearing because there's something bigger always going on. We're taking in other energies from environments, from people, from situations, from how we deliver non-love, unlove to ourselves. We need to clear the decks, breathe more, smile more. And something about those answers. They're delivered by angels, your guides, your loved ones, or a collective group in just the way you personally need to hear them. So you have a personality. You have a trillion thought forms you've had since you were 2 or 5. You don't like sushi, you don't like Tuesdays, and you only drive Volvos. You roll a certain way. I wouldn't want to change a thing about your thinking, who you are, what makes you you. Be all you can be, though, I would say. And you have a shinier, happier, broader, more graceful ease, fun, joy when you walk into a room one day, next week, tomorrow, or right now. It's just your energy. It's expanded out. You're more sparkly. That happens when you start interacting more. You just allow for the possibility that the universe is far bigger than you're going to be able to grasp in this lifetime, or that science grasps right now. Science could get all their answers if they just wanted to pay attention. IONS, Esalen, all these other institutes, some are in financial difficulty. They could get their answers for fundraising and how to roll with their business better. Angels are kind of like Ernst & Young or one of those McKinsey & companies in terms of consulting. They are incredible. They not only know how to speak all languages, dialects, they also know how to give you the best answer. And they know how to navigate that value system that you have, the trillion thought forms, what you like and dislike. They know how to say something just the right way to give you the poignant answer, the best answer, and also usually with a little bit of a lightening up to it, humor. They know how to reach you. They already understand where you're at. They see far and wide. And like 3 Native American chiefs, Dolnay Fred Church Geronimo, unconditional love spirit guides, very down to earth. People usually love them. They're really good at helping a person navigate from point A to point B. And I better mention my angel services. People get awfully scared about all this. It's a lot. I'll give you that. But it's not about grasping. It's hard to grasp the concept of getting all the help in the world. It's hard to grasp that you could have more skills like that than Tyler Henry or James Van Praagh, or name somebody really famous. It's a lot to allow for, because it's kind of like, as Elizabeth Gilbert said, it could feel like swallowing the sun. You're touching that third rail in the subway, and it's not. It's just more love. Tons of people cry and they yawn as they're releasing built up years and years worth of varnish on your wood. And the varnish gets stripped away and you get a nice refinishing for your surface. Maybe that's a good metaphor, maybe it's not. But this is all direct. You let go what doesn't serve, you let go of your details, you feel refreshed. You can meet your own team. That's actually what I'm here to do. There's so many front-end figures, 170 plus, that are incredible. An angel named Lucy who's patience. And again, you can just see them directly. You can see them as a ball of light. You can close your eyes and see them however they're going to want to show up. There's a million ways to see. There's a million ways to get a hug. It just takes a little bit of boldness, a kind of like, roll up your sleeve and give this a go. So my services, I've got a 1-hour service. That's your standard beginner. You get it all though, feeling, hearing, seeing. 3 angels. I have a 2-hour service. I think it's 12 figures. So it's like 6 angels, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, some other angels, plus Dolnay Fred Church Geronimo, Mother Teresa, Sai Baba, and Chogyam Trungpa. I had 2 students of his from like the 1970s when he was alive reunite with him. There's Kapuna Auntie Margaret in Hawaii. I had a student of hers who is, I'd say, really well known. Might have been in like a Miss America, Miss Hawaii filmmaker type and all the rest. She got to reunite with her. Also Mother Teresa. I've had a few people reunite with her. One woman in Sweden. I've got the most beautiful like minute testimonial on the YouTube channel. She adopted 2 infants from Mother Teresa in like 1997, traveled to India, met her, and has been doing, I think, fundraising in Sweden. She's Canadian originally, but 28 years, 30 years plus in Sweden, speaks Swedish perfectly. Again, gave a English-Swedish testimony. You can feel the vibe from that. It's a great testimonial. But she got to reunite with her, and that was really touching for her. These figures are reconciled if anybody's worried about a Mother Teresa figure. They're pure unconditional love. I think the basic step that we would all have to take to do more of this, whatever you want to call this, spirituality, letting go, more love, sort of where the future of mankind's headed, consciousness, mindfulness. There's so many other words people are using these days. Non-duality, blah, blah, blah. The metaverse, the universe, whatever this is. it's just allowing for more in and around us. What will you allow for? We don't even realize how much as humans with our thinking we operate in lower vibration, limiting ways. And so the first step is recognizing the difference between this vibration and this vibration. Once you do that, it's kind of like the hot stove analogy or metaphor. You know, at some point with hot stoves, you figured out what they're about. When they're burning bright red, you put your hand on it, you get burned. You're going to at least, maybe it takes one or two more tries to learn hot stoves are bad, never do it again. Check if they're off, don't touch a hot stove. Well, that's what this is about. You can do a lot less thinking, worrying, fear, stress, worrying. You learn to see your patterns and chop it off or cut it off or not feed the ego, psyche, the judging side of you so much. You're always going to do some of it. And you learn to start cultivating your inner authentic self, whether we want to call that your ZG, your wind horse. Let's do some Tibetan language. You want to experience more samadhi, even siddhis, SIDDHI. You can have little mini miracles anytime you want. Angels can deliver feathers made out of light that land on your countertop out of nowhere. You might find real feathers. There's the whole signs thing. If you're just wanting to do baby steps here, just talk to the universe, ask for signs. You'll see something on the side of a truck 2 days from now that totally was meant for you. Maybe it was 28 trucks to reach you because you were too occupied with your problems during these stoplights that when you finally lightened up, the universe could get in there. That's what this is really about, is can you buy some breathing space? Exhale like a whale if you're stressed, and let the universe do its job and come in. They're ready to help. This is why, again, you can just sort of leapfrog all the classes, the seminars, the institutes now. You can directly begin walking physically with angels, guides. A little jinn who's like a kung fu master out of China who represents East Asian mysticism. You can have all your answers. You can feel a hug, a hand on your shoulder, a whoosh, yummy in the tummy, sparkles. Again, you can see full on, do angels first, then talk to angels about Uncle John, and you can meet Uncle John. You can see Uncle John. You can hear how Uncle John was at your wedding, even though you thought Uncle John died two decades ago. You're not in as much pain. You're not in as much suffering. You're not in as big of a dilemma as you think you are. There's always options. And angels are here to give you those concrete steps to take to lighten up. In fact, the more in a pickle or a jam you are, the more it's just a function of thinking. Everything is much more rosy and open and fluid than we'll allow for up here. So once you get an understanding of what this is about ego. Your psyche has no more control over you. It's the Plato's cave analogy, but I'll just give it in a simpler way. You're in a jail cell, holding onto the bars on the window, looking out, watching all the kids play ball or watching something that's incredible out there. You're wishing you weren't here, you were out there. The jail door has been open the entire time. You never bothered to look. That's all this is. It's right in front of you like this. It is interdimensional. I do multidimensional channeling for an interdimensional experience, but there's 800 other ways to say it. It's the whole coyote wisdom thing. It's the shamanic thing. It's angelic stuff. It's whatever you want to call it. It's getting out of here to get to here, getting out of your head into your heart. It's the one bit of structure I have for you. Angels, get me out of my head, into my heart. Help me be more in the moment. Love, fill in the blank for the rest of it. Help me hear joy right now. Amen, thank you, rock and roll. Om Sai Ram if you're from India. That is it for structure. It's literally giving yourself permission to connect to all there is. Your higher self, your soul. You can see your soul in the sky as sort of an aurora borealis. Everyone's a little bit of different colors. Again, this is something that the spiritual wellness, holistic publishing, and name 18 other communities have yet to embrace. But I have helped a few thousand people over the years, the last decade plus. Again, people have done this as groups. There's photographs of angels, a couple videos. It's all kind of mind-numbing, shocking. There's a little bit of ontological shock, if you want to call it that, and go that extreme. For the UFO, the UAP crowd, they can meet light beings. Out of all the different beings out there, I only deal with the unconditional love crowd. And so light beings are like whales, dolphins would be the angels. It's all unconditional love. Eternal from our perspective, not mortal. How about that? The whole alien thing, that's fine. Not discounting it at all, but I mean, you could spend the next 50 years demanding organizations turn over what they know, change their behavior. Uh, my whole shtick is don't try to change the world, don't try to change others, don't try to force change, don't try to control others, tell them which language to use and what words to use, what you can and cannot do. That's a huge thing. The pendulum has swung more than I ever thought would be possible for humanity right now. There's a lot floating around. So if the word love is not in the message coming to you, if it's news, social media, it's unbelievable how much control is trying to be exerted by some over others. That's great. Everyone is doing what they think they should be doing. I don't think you can convince anybody to change their colors, their stripes. They're going to spend their energy how they spend their energy. But what's awesome is you can just do this and ask yourself, are they talking unconditional love? Are they being open and supportive of others? Are they allowing you to do your own learning in your own way at your own pace? And if the answer is no, move on. Don't spend a lot of time. The biggest thing I've learned is where you put your focus is where you put your focus. That's 10, 12 years. I've gotten, I would say, 8,000 no's from some of the biggest names in the industry, this publishing house, that publishing house, this person, that person. And some of those people have swung right around 3 years later and perfectly fine and dandy in a really easygoing way met angels with me. I never know. The person could be mean to me 3 times in a row over 8 years. I had what is it called? A Watkins 100 list that changes. I mean, they've got cult leaders on there as well. But it's a list of superstars, both social media, but who are helping the spiritual communities out there. Oprah's on the list, the Pope, Michael Singer, and a bunch of others. But I had one of those figures, I mean, literally hang up on me on a Zoom call 5 minutes in and was just like, this can't be. Click. They had a triggered reaction from their own childhood experience. And they're like a best-selling author. They're fantastic. They were really mean in that moment, but again, it doesn't mean 5 years from now they couldn't be like really nice. It's Christmas Carol Scrooge. We're all that Scrooge. That guy was dental floss, and we're in the Christmas season, so this is the best analogy. He was so shut tight like an oyster, and we all are at least once a week, if not 5 times a day. He's dental floss when it came to love. He was about money and just efficiency, business-wise. No room for growth, no room for sparkle. That's all of us 20% of the time, 50%. If you're feeling like you're in a jam, health issue, finances, then maybe higher than that percentage-wise. And he got his opening up or opening openness or the universe coming in like maybe 2 minutes of dream time. Obviously, it was long enough for a movie or animation movie or any of those black and white movies, or for a book. I think that was like 77 pages or something. I've got a short version. It's on my suggested reading page. A ton of books, a ton of movies to go check out. I'll try to become an Amazon affiliate. So be forewarned, there will be a little commission if I can figure all that out. I do have a mug for sale, and I got to mention this as well. Man has to eat. Geronimo always reminds me. I gave this service away for 8 years. I was getting testimonials, or I was learning a lot from the process. I'm still learning a lot from the process. But here's my first product for sale. At my website, it's a 20-ounce mug via Printful. It's $35. When I charged $24, I saw less than $1 profit. Everybody from PayPal to the printing people to Wix or whoever, the shipping, it's a lot. So I made it $35 for the 20-ounce mug. It's an Angel Nutrition label. Check that out. Pause this if you need to, and then a logo. One of my guests from the show, who I love to death, was like, "You have to have your logo on everything from now on. You need to, pay attention to your business model and make sure you're getting more business." So that mug is, again, $35 at my website. You're helping me out quite a bit with that. Thank you very much. I think on YouTube I'm about to have it up under spring, and I think it's an 11-ounce mug, so a little bit smaller. I like the giant mugs for tea, coffee, and everything else. But if an 11-ounce works, I think it's $33. I haven't seen how the costs break down there. It's available in Europe, but the shipping, the VAT or value-added tax, the taxes and fees, the shipping, woo, it burns into that. I'll have t-shirts at some point and other products. I have a little listening to Angel's book. For 10 plus years, I kept asking Angels. The price was left at $4.99. I just got permission to do $7.99. So check that out. It's a 25-minute read. 100% written by angels. There's I think 7, 8 photos of angels in there. I sell them for $3 each at the website. They're at least worth checking out. Go to michaelandreford.com. Check out the video testimonials. Check out who's going to be on the show into August of 2024. Just go to the show tab and look. Look at the beautiful mind, body, spirit panels. Every time you click the thumbnail, the show art or the panel art, you'll go to the YouTube channel to watch that segment. We have just incredible guests coming on, way beyond what a small show should deserve. But we've got the angels, we've got Einstein, we've got Gandhi, we've got St. Francis, we've got Seth, the light being. I mean, the Seth community has been fighting amongst themselves for decades now. I'm not trying to highlight that, but anyone can meet Seth. It's the only figure out of all these figures who's a little more disembodied, has zero interest in showing up in human form. You can see Seth as kind of a Cheshire cat smile in the sky. I have a different light being, Grace, who's literally Grace, enthusiasm actually. She's orange light. She'll go into the Silver Surfer if you know your Marvel comics, DC comics, whichever it is. She'll be a female Silver Surfer for you and slow things up for you so you can grasp it and see her next to like a Jesus, Gandhi, Mary, your relative, and Gabriel, Michael, Joy, Charlotte, and Min. So that's kind of cool. And what I was trying to get to with the UFO UAP crowd is they're going to spend a lot of time on details, FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act requests, calling out this person, calling out that. But do any of them really actually just want to meet a light being? I mean, that counts as an alien, except in a really nice way. If you're going to go out to get a bite with Grace, the light being, you're coming back intact, filled with love and joy. You can do the ET thing, just with an angel. Put your finger out and let your finger either see pink light around your finger and bring it in and touch your heart and feel pink light go everywhere. Warmth, joy. She's joy, the emotion joy. She's the ambassador, communicator, here to help you out. And if you would just let them do their job and basically just one giant catcher's mitt, if it's a baseball analogy, you would simply receive all. You don't have to do anything. Stop the doing for just 5 minutes. This is for all of mankind. Allow more, love more, walk a smoother path in life. But back to light beings. So, there's this huge drive talking about disclosure and aliens. And I'm not taking away from all the direct experiences. It's a little bit like the near-death experience crowd or the Buddhist community. Do they really want to meet Buddha, Chogyam Trungpa, Kuan Yin, blah, blah, blah? Does the Native American crowd really want to meet their elders, their ancestors directly, just to chat? Privately, it's all private to you. I stay out of your questions nowadays. I stay out of your answers. I do love to hear once in a while, like the humor, the fun part that you would be willing to share at a cocktail party, but this is private to you. So this truly is no limits. There's healing to be had. That's between you and angels. So some stuff's written, your medical condition, and it's what you signed up for. Other stuff is addressable, if that's a word. And back to the big picture, angels can completely alter your path. You kind of have to wake up to how energy flows. You're completely responsible for the decisions you're making and everything. You could be complete atheist, agnostic, whatever. This isn't about religion at all or any of that stuff. But you are owning and you're experiencing the consequences of your decision making, and it's micro decisions. It's stuff you're not even aware of. Ignorance, as Geronimo would tell you, or not being aware of any of this stuff is no excuse. It's just everything in energy. We're all interconnected. If you're flowing from here, you'll know it. If you're flowing from here, you know it. It's the hot stove thing. You just have to wake up to how simple it is. And everything, all movies, all spiritual books, all publishing houses, all institutes, this is what I love about them. Tyler Henry, James Van Praagh, they're all pointing the way to your heart. More love. They're all trying to remind you to just slow down, breathe more, smile more, be in the present moment. Eckhart Tolle, love him. Don Miguel Ruiz, all the rest. So once you do that, you can have, and it doesn't matter if you're 80 years old, 50 years old, you just turned 20, you have a unique life path. Angels are happy to help you discover that, live it more if you already know sort of what is your passion. They're able to expand it more for you. They're able to get you the help you need. They're able to connect the dots. They're able to help you see your visions, broader visions, because I think a vision with your eyes shut or a vision up in the sky is worth 1,000 words. If you're supposed to write a book. They can help you see the cover, the chapters. You can get a symphony of light in that's worth 1 million characters or words, and you can get help typing. That's how I did listening to angels. I saw balls of light as I was typing. I have a much longer book, Glow Stick Zen, that no one's ever going to read. It's a dozen people who have checked it out. I think it's 1,300 pages officially, but it's closer to 1,700 or 3,400, depending on the device you're using. If it's in landscape mode, the font, the size, the shape of everything. It was when I was popping. And it's 1/3 me, 2/3, Mary, Jesus, Buddha, angels, guides, loved ones. Any of the bad parts are me. But I broke it up into 22 little books that are $9.99 each. So you don't have to go pay the $200 for the big book at Apple. If you go to Apple, it's one big book. There's, I think, 360 photographs in there, a lot of my art, my nature photography, and more. But the little books are bite-sized, like maybe 70, 75 pages, or more like 100 plus, depending, again, on the font and the shape and the size. But that's bite-sized if you're worried about the finances of it. That book is meant to help you make the journey from here down to here. Now, what I love is that journey is literally this on the video right now. But that's a lifetime or 2 lifetimes for many of us, or decades at a time. But what about, I know I really should. You're correct on this. I'll start next week. My problem is, my situation is, you don't understand my situation. I've got 13 kids, 7 dogs, no money in the bank account. We have so many limits we're living with. We don't even recognize our Samsonite luggage or wagon train that we're pulling around with us as we go to every new environment. This is a chance to kind of lighten up on all that, get a clean slate, and to clean up how we're flowing our energy. So a little feng shui for our mental home, and to start residing more in our luxury oasis, desert oasis retreat here. So it's a lot to grasp, but luckily none of this is about grasping or thinking. This is about just, you do this type of letting go every single day, hundreds of times in micro moments during the day. And your brain, your psyche, your ego won't permit you to appreciate how much you're already in the zone, the heart zone, spiritual zone, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. Flipping light switches, brushing your teeth, taking a shower. Whenever you're just letting go out of your brain, kind of humming to yourself, enjoying, you unpack the dishwasher. Half the time during the week, you view that as a chore. But the other part of you is like, I don't mind doing it at all. And I actually like, putting stuff away. There's a million little things that you do. And that's what I think, like Thich Nhat Hanh was talking about in Pieces Every Step, doing the dishes. You have complete capacity to walk slower, talk slower, eat slower, appreciate more, allow more, a lot of A's in there. Let angels in. Angels are in and around you all the time. You want to put your hand out to the side and feel an angel hold your hand? You can. So let me actually do some steps here, and then I'll sign off. I'll do more of these videos daily as we get into 2024. But I just want to remind you that you have more capacity than myself. This is easy. Forget Tyler Henry. You have more abilities than anything you think you're seeing on the channel or with angel photos here. Just trust more, allow more, think a little less. That's all. And you can catch your thinking before you allow it to contribute to your future reality. That's kind of what this is about. I love law of attraction stuff. I love Esther Hicks. She's got a great group of light beings called Abraham. She listens to, I think a lot of people, when they first make a discovery, let's say, how do I do this? It's easy to hang out a shingle after a few discoveries. You meet a few angels and that's it. And to put the kibosh on future expansion and learning. So the more contact you have with others, the more soul-to-soul interaction there is. So the more you can keep saying yes to new experiences that are fun, sparkly with other people around the globe, the more you keep expanding and doing growth. Let's flip that. There's constant growth and expansion and more love available to you. There's trillions of layers of compassion and love ahead for you. There's also trillions of layers or piano keys of less vibration, lower vibration, negativity, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. Okay, so give yourself a clean slate. Ask angels. Angels, help me out of my head into my heart. Help me smell sage in Canada. It's 2026. You caught this video a few years too late. That's okay. Catch a little bit of sage now. Time and space isn't what you think it is. Time is kind of a construct of the mind. You know that from university classes. When the teacher was really boring or super exciting, the 1 hour class felt like 3 hours, or it went by in 15 minutes. You couldn't get enough. You know it from vacations. Caribbean vacation. 2 weeks there felt like a month. Time just was incredible. It's slow. The next year you went, it went by in 2 days, and you were there 2 weeks. You were like, what happened? So time's a construct. Your entire life is a construct. Ask for dream time signs. Forget about a feather on the back patio. Ask for a good dream time moment that a relative comes in, and just when you get it, don't freak out and shut tight like an oyster all over again for 2 more years. This waking dream of yours right now is not as real as what you'll get with Chogyam Trungpa, a Native American chief, Kuan Yin, angels, Muhammad, Jesus, Mary, Buddha. Let them do their jobs. So catch a little bit of sage. I do this for everybody on the show. Go watch some of the shows. The further into the show, the more these steps happen. Nobody knows that. And we're not really here to advertise this. But a really famous recent guest in the last 8 weeks got to see their relative before the show and chat with them, full on. Point of the show is not to do this on air. Another guest, sometime in the last 6 months, got to see their loved one on a balcony after taping the show. And that loved one was coming in, holding the shoulder and doing other stuff during the taping. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of love, a lot of crying, a lot of tears, a lot of yawning. It's just a release. You know, if you've really been in a jam or you've got a huge health thing. I had one person who I think yawned for like 3 hours straight or 2 hours straight, really long time. It's just a release. And the less you know, the further you go. What do you let go of all the details? Ego likes to make bricks, and with those bricks build walls. And that wall is judging Texas or judging California or this party or this country or this climate situation or this group or that group. Are you practicing love? MLK, you can meet him. You can meet MLK, and there's another, Nelson Mandela. Are you practicing love or unlove? Well, most of us are practicing unlove. I mean, I do it. Someone writes a nasty note, you have your reaction, and then you let it go. And sometimes you're like, well, you know, that's my opportunity for growth in the moment. And sometimes the person is somebody well-known, and then 2 years later, they don't remember interacting with you, and then next thing you know, they're a guest on the show. Just don't take anything personally. I'm going to borrow from Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements. Don't take anything personally. Always do your best. There's 2 more of those. It's your opportunity to go look it up. Suggested reading page. Okay, catch a little bit of sage where you're at. If you want to catch flowers, a flower smell, let angels bring you a flower smell. That's what I'm talking about. There's a linear reaction. We only allow for so much. Go for the gusto. Go for gold. Go for unlimited. Let angels bring you sage and a flower smell. Again, Irish angel mystic Lorna Byrne caught daisies and roses, no sage in Ireland. I'm sitting here in Texas blowing through 2 screens. Let me blow. Catch a little sage. Ask for your favorite beach smell. Go for Maui. If it's Rehoboth Beach from your childhood, ask for that. If it's the Seychelles, Majorca, Canary Islands, you get the picture. What will you allow for is the crux of all of this. There's people who meet angels with me. They stay super nice forever, but they're not able to engage again. It's going to be years for them. There's a small little group that are like, oh my God, we got to get this out to the world. And they don't realize when they say that, and this has just been my experience, they need like 2 to 3 years, not a timeout, but I'm not going to get a chance to interact with them again right away. I don't know why. I agree. Let's get this out to the world. It'd be great for the world. I think a lot of people around the world are already here rolling with it. A fisherman in Indonesia, a person in Africa. I think they're in much more harmony with their surroundings, themselves, and others, that they're contributing to the global slipstream of joy, peace, harmony, grace, ease, fun. That is what life is truly all about. I'm going to use that expression. We are blessed, or we are given little mini miracles every day. You only have to open your eyes, slow down, do a forced opening, breath of opening. Openness, as Chogyam Trungpa would say. So catch that sage. Ask angels to help you. out of your head, into your heart. You've got a broken nose, you haven't been able to smell a scent. Well, guess what? People with that type of nose still get the sage. Taste it on your mouth instead. Angels have a way of navigating all your blocks, all your medical conditions to get you what you need. This isn't the strongest smoke, but that's okay. Put your hand out. You can feel the smoke vibration that way. Play this back. I'm going to stub this out. I'll take a few more steps and then I'll sign off. But you have no limits. And I do these steps all the time. We can call them baby steps, big steps. I think it depends on the show and the person. But there's literally 50 shows that have been taped in 2023. And there's 80 already set into next year. There's tons of other videos, tons of other demos. Be sure to find that little 3-second, 46-second video of Joy the Angel flying over my head. I think it was December of last year in 2022. We're at the end of 2023 as I tape this. It doesn't really matter. But here's Joy. Ask angels to get you out of your head, into your heart, to feel, hear joy and more. Amen, rock and roll, thank you. Anytime you start thinking hard, having a reaction to me personally, or just thinking and being harsh to yourself, it's called ego. You're like, oh, I don't think I could do this. What's he talking about? Don't worry about it. It's not about analyzing, grasping up here. It's about just, can you eat the piece of pie and say, yum? That's the level of difficulty here. Here's Joy, the first angel everybody meets. Put your hand out. Feel what you can feel in your fingers, your palm, back of your palm. You're resisting a lot, get sparkles on your toes. Let her move, change color in the photo. Notice the deep purple around the edge of the pink. And if you're American, I'm going to guilt you here. I'm being facetious, but let her do her job. You don't have to do anything. If you're a New Zealander, Australian, you probably have already done it. You felt what you could feel. Play this over. Now, ask her for a hug and feel a hug. There's 1 million ways to feel a hug. A whoosh down your back, yummy in the tummy, a goosebump on the neck, on the arm, a wind in the room. Ask for the best Maui, Perth breeze ever, ocean breeze, smell it. Now, leave your eyes on her, and here's a puff question. Don't start off with your hardest situational life drama. No drama, just Rama. You can meet Rama. Start off with the easiest question in the world. Hey, Joy, what do I need to know in life right now? Something that if you're at the supermarket, you're not going to start crying right away. Just don't make it big. Just make sure your electricity, your plumbing, your functioning, your senses, that you know how to listen. It's your heart doing all the work. Your heart is already fully connected to the universe. It's ready to be Picasso if you're a painter. It's ready to be Hank Aaron if you're a baseball player. It's ready to be that amazing NFL player. It's ready to go swimming. It's ready to jump, climb a tree, hug your dog. Your heart is where it's at. For most of us, it's iPhone stuff like this all day long, even when we're watching TV. Divided attention. This is your Zen master, and that's okay. Everything is your instruction. It's just how much are you willing to wake up to the path you're already on? I would argue you're standing on your rock on the ocean edge. Waves are knocking you off. You just merely have to get back in the saddle or get back on that rock and own you. Geronimo will tell you, ride, ride, ride on the horse. Don't look left, don't look right, don't look back. He's all about action. He steals the show. There's some great photos on my website, Audrey Hepburn. Use that. I'm not going to put her up. Use that photo on the front page of the website. Go down a little bit. You'll see Geronimo next to her. You'll see some angel photos, silhouette of my guardian angel. I'll put that one up. Let Geronimo do his job. Let Audrey do her job. Catch an uninvented French perfume from her. But let her wink, smile, eyebrow goes up, shoulder waggle in her photo. That's one of my favorite photos to use to get somebody to go through that hoop. I don't know what to call it, to have that experience. There's 55 little experiences people can have. All of it's just defined as letting go, connecting to the universe. Here's my guardian angel, one way. She's a ball of light in another. I've just been super lucky with being given photos. And I think it's wonderful, but you can see with your eyes open, and you can do this as a group. I've had my sprinkler people and other vendors coming to the house that I've helped individually or in groups after they've owned it solo. Yes, this is a lot to accept at a societal level. It's a lot to accept at IONS. If they wanted to learn more about consciousness, instead of measuring psychics and certifying people, they could take leaps and bounds in their research. It's not a criticism. This is every organization, every institute, anything man-made, and where mankind is at now. It's the UAP crowd. It's the this crowd, the that crowd. No limits What does that look like? We don't even know. We haven't started listening yet as a kind of a group collective thing or individually that much, but we're doing it all the time. So that's why artists are so great. Athletes are so great. They're in the zone. They're with the flow, a universal flow, universal love, universal light, whatever your language, you decide. Okay, here's Joy. Leave your eyes on her and just ask her, hey, Joy, do this silently out of your heart. Don't get busted at the supermarket. Hey, Joy, what do I need to know in life right now? Hear a little whisper back. It could sound like your voice for a second or two. What do you think all that advice has been over the years? Not the negative advice that's like, hey, hop in that Jag that's not yours and drive 130 miles an hour or 170 kilometers down that highway, but the good advice, the instinctive stuff that makes you a great business person, great artist, great athlete, great marketer. It's angels. It would freak you out if you knew how big your collective cheerleading squad was. Aunt Martha, Uncle Joe, your dad, this angel, your guardian angel, your angel who's your art angel or your muse if you're a book writer. If you were in the middle of a golf swing, I love this analogy, and you're playing a tournament. You're really good at golf these days. You're hitting 70, and you've got a good shot at winning this. If you're on hole 9 with a wedge and you're about to swing and you know you want to crank this, you've got it, you feel it, and your own voice is saying at you, let's do this, bam, it lands on the putting green right next to the hole, or it's a hole in one. Imagine what happens if it's Uncle Joe, Aunt Martha, your dad, Einstein, Gandhi, MLK, or your guardian angel coming in with a distinct female voice or a male voice or a gruff South African accent or whatever, or a happy voice, just saying, smack that ball. You would drop the club, look around and be like, who said that? So that is why you've got to have it your way. This is Burger King, the 1980s commercial. You have to have it your way, otherwise you're going to freak out. And even if you do meet all these people, when you do freak out afterwards or have this huge ontological shock, which happens for a few people, most people laugh and take it with ease and grace, and then they call it miracles. Then I'm getting hugs if it was the old days in person. Zoom works great for this. You can see a ball of light flying by right now if you wanted to. Ask Audrey Hepburn, ask Joy to be a pink ball of light. It might be out of the corner of your eyes. It might be glitter. Is that the women's cosmetics counter at Macy's, that glitter you put on your face? Just picture a fan of glitter blowing. The more you're thinking and resisting, the more it'll be peripheral. The more you're just loosey-goosey, it'll be in front of you or behind me here. I just had a panelist on one of the panels, a couple panels back, seconds before I hit the record button. She's like, I just saw a ball of light fly behind you. Not orbs, not aliens, ETs or whatever. I'm just more comfortable with angels, balls of light, God's love for us all, if you need a kind of a religious expression, universal love and light, just joy and happiness for talking her, what you've connected to all your life in those moments. You knew it as a kid, and then you started adulting, and the whole, art of self-importance took a lot of that away unnecessarily. You've got more available in this present moment. Just take a breath, smile, look at a flower. I'm looking at a butterfly, a monarch butterfly on butterfly sage. I have huge flowers, still have sunflower stalks coming up. We haven't had the first freeze yet. I'm hoping those sunflowers will bloom. I have a lot of flower photography. You can check out a book for, I think, $7 and change, maybe $3 and change, I don't know. At Amazon, my Amazon author profile is easy to find. Amazon.com/author/angels. Everything is on my website. Please peruse that. I'm one of the rare. If you go to Gabby Bernstein, she's wonderful. Her website's kind of a funnel now. Most of these people's websites are just funnels to get you to sign up for this, take this class, this seminar, or buy their book. Mine is not. You're going to get my life story in there a little bit. You're going to get plenty of photos of angels. You're going to get this, that, lots of in-depth testimonials, but you can see in the shows on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MichaelAndreFord. You can watch people take steps, take the steps with them. So with that, leave your eyes on her, ask her what you need to know in life, hear a little whisper back. If you're worried about this at all, you're going to hear breathe, relax, you've got this, or one of 1,000 ways. You might get it in Hindi. You might get it in Telugu, whatever language you speak in India, or if you're visiting in Canada right now watching this. If you're down under, get it your way with that particular accent. There's a lot of humor. Ask her another question. Go ahead and pick up a $3 photo. That's all it is. Wix only let me, my website carrier only lets me choose one price for all the photos. So purchase a $3 photo, it's licensed to you, put it on your iPhone, carry it around. When you can remember to remember, if you remember to remember, look at the photo on your iPhone. Watch how that a month goes by and you forgot. You just got so busy. But you're sitting on a park bench, you're taking a coffee break, a smoke break at work, you're on the beach. You suddenly realize, oh, I should have a quick tete-a-tete, head-to-head listening, quick engagement with her. Clear out of your head that special request. Do some listening here. You'll at least feel the vibration and it turns into words. It's a vibration coming in that turns into any language, all dialects. It knows how to navigate your personality to say it the way just you need to hear it. There's 1,000 ways to say something about that cousin, the financial situation, the divorce, the health crisis. Should you buy that car? All those things that make us human and that we've got to go through. Ebb and flow in life. Some of it's good, some of it's not good. Try not to judge it. Everything has something to teach us, and when we've learned the lesson, it moves on. You move on and on to the next set of growth opportunities or growth challenges. What will you allow for? Growth challenges. My problem is growth opportunities. What's next? Shift your consciousness. Einstein's great for that. So park yourself in front of the photo, give yourself a break, let her do her job, look and listen. She'll change colors. You might see a face in the ball of light. If you're ready, look up. Pick 2 soccer fields away if you're nervous about this. Let her show up. No wings, then wings. Looking very American in her dress. If you want Archangel Michael and Gabriel, they can be the more classic versions. Fairies are awesome for helping breaking you into seeing. Everybody has one way or another, they wear their limits. I never do this. I always do my listening this way. A lot of Americans do eyes closed. Or if it's Reiki folks, there's like 26 different categories of Reiki folks. Some people just feel the colors and feel the flows as they're helping others. And they've really wired themselves not to be able to see the flow of light to people or to see colors or auras as they're doing it. Those are some of the hardest for me. It takes an extra hour to help the person let go of what they know to relax and see what you're already seeing around you. You're seeing flows of light on your dog, the supermarket. Your brain filters out all the love, the vibrations, the colors, the universal light, the Hindu chakras, whatever you want to call this, because it's too much. And you kind of operate in a locked down way. Sometimes that's why near-death experiences, 1, 2, 3, help open you up. We're all shut tight like oysters daily, weekly, monthly, for a lifetime. You're good how you are. If you didn't talk to a single angel this lifetime, you're fine. Joseph Campbell didn't meet any of his angels. The mythology guy, The Power of Myth, he did it with Bill Moyers, who spoke at my college graduation. He got an A+ for his life path, according to angels. You can meet Joe. He's wonderful. This isn't about necessarily having to do anything or check any boxes. But again, angels can alter your path. So how ready are you to get living, to maybe change directions, maybe move house, maybe rejigger everything up? You're always wearing purple and you start wearing new colors, shopping in different places. You live in an entire new geography. You've decided to relish life every instant and let the universe start delivering entree, entree, entree after entree. 13-course meal at your favorite 5-star restaurant. You're treated with complete hospitality. No calories to these meals. And when you try to go pay with the Amex Platinum card that they gave you, it's actually already paid for. The chefs, the maitre d', the owners of the restaurant, they're all angels. You have an incredible loving crew in and around you the second you're willing to wake up to this reality. And most of the people you see, if you went and did a top 10,000 list for spirituality, they could be a New York Times bestseller. They could have spoken at Omega, Kripalu, Esalen, 1440 Multiversity in California. They could have been on Oprah Super Soul Sunday. They could have done this, done that, checked every box. They still have as much room for growth and expansion as you do. In fact, because they're living a very unique path, oftentimes they'll find themselves, by the fame and the everything else and the way their business model works, more limited than even we are in our ordinary lives. So this is about more ordinary moments, more enjoying the little things in life, but it's also about going big and about reorienting how you're spending your energy and That's where it's really up to you. Go, you can meet angels in full-on human form. I've had that experience. I've freaked out. I feel the energy. I'm not meant to talk to them in certain situations. Others, I've seen them, in human form. It's kind of a long story. Or in energetic form. I'll do a video this week that shares some of those crazy peace stories. They're not war stories, love stories, angel stories. Look, your dogs, your cat, your relative is super chill. They get it. Just fake it till you make it. Be in your heart more. Take a breath. Put your feet up and relax. No try. Yoda's correct on this. But Archangel Gabriel says always try. And they're both correct. Because this isn't about words. And every bit of words or phraseology has a duality to it. If you say it or take it one way, it's the same set of words. No try could mean one thing or it could mean another. That's the duality we're living with here as humans right now. But when you're love, it only has one meaning. And that's why it's not about the news. It's not about the cultural things going on today. All your liberty, all your freedom is here. You have no limits. No one has any control over you, not even your own ego, psyche. The second you wake up to the difference in energy flows, ego has lost its grasp on you. Angels can talk to you about this. And then you're ready to have, whether you're 85 years old, you're 18, you're 35, no matter what your life story has been up to that moment, you're ready to have a kind of a reshaping of that surfboard to get on a new wave, a new set of waves, maybe a new beach altogether. You get to surf Noosa in Australia rather than the beaches in California you've been surfing to date. So look, no limits, have more fun, laugh more, live more. What will you allow for? That was the holiday message. Happy 2024. Please support the channel by liking content all over the place. It takes a while to get used to likes. I think that's almost the metaphor for meeting angels. You could watch for years on YouTube, I've done this, and not hit a single like. It's hard. Let go of what you know, hit the like, make a comment. What did you like most about what the expert, the guest said? What did you enjoy? What do you want to share? Speaking of sharing, share it with some friends, a relative, because with your help, we get to grow the channel this way. The algorithm loves sharing. And finally, subscribe. You can even hit the notification button the next time a video drops. We don't go crazy. We're not doing 5 videos a day. But there are 50 shows in 2023. There are, I think, 11 panels or something like that. 9 or 11 panels that are mind, body, spirit panels. 3 guests come on. They take turns talking about amazing topics. There's an incredible vibe going on with Dr. Leanne Whitney, Paul Sugar, and Ewan Brioch. Ewan Brioch is a Welsh theater director, non-duality mindfulness teacher. He's incredible. Dr. Leanne Whitney, she'll be taping in 2024. You'll see her show in the spring. She's had incredible experiences. And Paul Sugar, who's been on the show, will be twice soon. You'll see him in like January or February of 2024. He's been on a bunch of panels. He's so wonderful. 50 years of mindfulness meditation techniques. Taught at Omega at one point. His teachings are in 48 states, public school systems for, I think, 8 to 15 years old or so, something like that. Those 3 have some zing, some magic, some fun to when they interact. We're having them back on again early April. So by early April, you should see them in another panel setting. They really enjoyed interacting with each other. I offer this content currently for free. If you'd like to get a mug, do so. Anything you can do to support this channel. I think the best deal I have for a service is Get the Works. I think it's 3 hours, 4 of you. You got to schedule your own 4 people. That's you plus 3 of your friends. You have to be able to show up on the date that you picked. It's only $150 a piece. You receive all. Some people talk about enlightenment. And that means if they're enlightened, they've got no room for learning or growth. That's not what this is about. Everyone has the opportunity to learn and grow, no matter how seasoned you are. You've been a guru in India with your own ashram and millions of followers around the globe. Guess what? You still have as much learning and growth to do as the next person. It's just what goes on in the continuation or the development of the soul. So again, try not to listen to limiting talk from others or from yourself up here to here. You have no limits. Absolutely taste or experience or check out briefly all the other offerings people have. But at the end of the day, the one place, you'll see it in the Peaceful Warrior movie, or what Min, my guardian angel, says, I put the quote up on the website somewhere, the only place it's going to happen is right here. It's the last place any of us want to go. The ego does not want the jig to be up. It's at the steering wheel of your car right now. It gets to go to the back seat. It's not going away, but you can have more fun. You can have your cake, eat it too, own the bakery, and own the delivery of those cakes worldwide. No calories in the cakes, but the cakes do bring a smile. I think that's the big metaphor. Let everybody eat cake. Okay, Michael Andre Ford, michaelandreford.com. The channel again is youtube.com/ at Michael Andre Ford. Please, again, be sure to like, subscribe, and take some steps where you can take some steps. They're scattered throughout every show, in the panels, little mini videos like this, and also on the website. Thank you very much. Happy 2024.